Welcome to Hope Adventist News. I'm Nana Akusiabuache and I'm bringing you the latest happenings and uplifting stories from our community. Now let's dive into today's week's headlines. West Central African Division organizes Stewardship Convention at the Valley View University. Adventist Girls Senior High School Institutional Welfare Society donates to rural areas. Divine intervention, the miraculous establishment of a seventh-day Adventist group in Ghana before the missionary arrival. This and other stories will be coming your way right up to the break. Welcome back now to a very fresh story. To deepen the understanding and practice of financial stewardship among its members, the West Central African Division Stewardship Department has organized a 3-day stewardship convention at the Valley View University. The event, held under the theme Teaching Financial Stewardship as an Art of Worship, aimed to equip stewardship directors and church leaders to manage the church better. Dignitaries in attendance included Pastor T.T. Okwen, President of the Southern Ghana Union Conference, Pastor Ananunu, the Executive Secretary of the Southern Ghana Union Conference, and the Vice Chancellor of Valley View University. The convention highlighted 4 critical forms of giving: tithe, free will offerings, special project offerings, and annual weekly thanksgiving and vows. Attendees were informed that each form plays a vital role in stewardship and expressed gratitude for God's blessings. In his address, Pastor Dr. Paul underscored the significance of biblical giving, specifically the biblical mandate of returning tithe as a testament to humanity's role as stewards of God's creation. He stressed that failing to return tithe could hinder divine blessings.
Now, when you are a very source pastor who will not do corrections when you see errors in the church, you will be a pastor. But of course, the best title to be given to you is a useless pastor.
In today's ever-evolving global economy, the significance of vocational education and skills training cannot be overstated. This program plays a crucial role in enhancing economic prosperity and providing individuals with practical skills for career advancement. The Accra City Conference Women's Skills Training Academy is committed to providing a streamlined pathway towards career development and job readiness. The graduation ceremony was graced by esteemed guests, including the President of the Accra City Conference, Pastor S.O.T. Harmon, the Women Ministries Director, Mrs. Felicia Usuansa, and the Steward and Strategic Leader of the Accra City Conference, Pastor Isaiah G. Morrison, among others. Their presence underscored the importance of this initiative in uplifting and empowering women and men within the community. Mrs. Felicia Usuansa, in her address to the graduating class, emphasized the significance of their achievement and encouraging them to continue pursuing excellence in their chosen field. Provided attendees with practical tools and resources to implement effective stewardship practices in their local churches. In an interview with Hope Adventist News, Pastor Poedu Sampa elaborated on the rationale behind the Stewardship Convention and the relaunch of the Combined Offering Plan.
The rationale behind this program is to train the leaders of the church to go out there and assist church members in planning their giving as an act of worship that we always expect them to do. The Seventh-day Adventist Church says giving is worship. And so it's not a way of fundraising or supporting local church budget. It is about worship. Therefore, if it is about worship, then there's a requirement. So the main issue for this training is to train the church leaders, pastors, administrators, and the laity to go out there and help the church members. We are saying that giving should not be anyhow. The Lord expects worshippers to support God's work with a tithe, which is a worship, admitting that God is the owner of everything. The offering is appreciation to what God has done for each and every one. The other ones are to support the church, like the church projects and the rest. we need to streamline so that collecting of funds every time from church members will cease. And then they would deal directly with thou said the Lord instead of thou said my elder. This is the main motive of this training.
He emphasized the importance of structured giving, stating that it should be approached reverently to ensure one receives the accompanying blessings. He also explained the percentage distributed across local churches. The guest speaker, Elder Joseph Owusu, commended the graduating students for their diligence and dedication throughout their training. He urged them to apply the knowledge and skills they have acquired to make a meaningful impact in their respective endeavors.
The combined offering plan, which allows the church to take giving or offering once during worship, has been split in many churches. Sometimes some go twice, they take the Sabbath school, they take the mission appeal, and then they still come and take offering. The church is saying that those offerings must be combined so that the giver may prepare from home, give it once to God, and that is done. And then there's a percentage that has been stipulated that will be used to share the money from the grassroots to the general conference. So this is what we have come today to do, a relaunch, so that we take all the things that made the first one fail or fail, then we can straighten up and do it right. That's why we're here.
Pastor Jacob Maunya, District Pastor for Hohoe East under the Volta Ghana Mission, shared his perspective on the convention's teachings, emphasizing their potential benefits for the church. He noted that implementing these teachings could lead to a more robust and financially stable church community.
We have learned that there are 4 major ways by which the church is able to have funds to run. The first major one is a tithing system. The second one is offerings. The third one is a project offerings. And then the last one is Thanksgiving offerings. But the beautiful aspect of the message that I heard this morning has to do with the understanding that tithing or all these forms of giving are an act of worship, and they are not fundraising to support local churches. They are not a means of raising funds to support local churches, but an act of worship. Basically, the tithing, for instance, is a recognition of God as the original owner, as the owner of our and the source of our blessings or our wealth.
In an interview with Pastor Kwabna Chum, the Southern Ghana Union Conference Stewardship Director, he expounded on the essence of stewardship, emphasizing the accountability in all aspects of life. He highlighted that stewardship extends beyond financial giving to include time, talent, and resources, urging members to be faithful in all these areas.
Stewardship is man's act of giving to God for all the good things he does for us. My name is Pastor Chumenewe. The whole of people here, we were expecting to get around 500 people, but we are just a shade lower than 500. All that we want the world to know is that we came to meet this world. It was created by God. We didn't bring anything here. So you should
the Academy offers diverse training programs including fashion design, bridal accessories, event decor, pastries and more. During the graduation ceremony, students had the opportunity to showcase their talents through a captivating fashion show, highlighting their creativity and craftsmanship.
Some people say that I have worked for my money, and that is neither here nor there. You have not worked for anything. You came to meet it. So be very, very careful how you use the things God has given you.
Certificates and gifts were presented to the graduating students and individuals who have contributed to the success of the Academy. This gesture of appreciation acknowledges their hard work and support in advancing the mission of the Academy. In an interview, Pastor Esoti Hammond provided insight into the founding and evolution of the Academy, underscoring its commitment to empowering women and men and also fostering community development.
I want to do whatever I want to do for them. You can't do that. Your life has given to you as something to account for at the end of this life. So be careful what you eat. Be careful how you go about drinking bitters and pork and cutting short your life. Make sure that you live every day, one day at a time, for God.
The convention concluded with a call to action for faithful adherence to biblical principles of financial stewardship, reminding participants that honoring God with their finances is both a duty and a privilege. The event fostered a sense of unity and collective responsibility, inspiring attendees to take actionable steps towards improving financial stewardship within their community. A report by Letitia Appiah. In a remarkable act of community service and generosity, the Adventist Girls Senior High School Student Welfare Society from the Kwabri East Municipal Assembly in the Ashanti region of Ghana has donated some items to selected rural areas, including Woraso and Bosumchiche, and remote towns in the Ashanti Mampong Municipal Assembly. Additionally, Elder Imanona Frimpong and Mrs. Faustina Otelo Egrefo, esteemed academy lecturers, shared their experiences and insight into the transformative impact of skills training on men and women's lives. This initiative is part of the students' ongoing effort to support and uplift underdeserved communities in the region. The donation, valued at 10,000 Ghana cedis, included toiletries, soft drinks, bathing and washing soaps, second-hand goods, and many others. The Welfare Society began their visit by joining the Sabbath worship service in Rosso, where they performed traditional songs to entertain the newly established church members. After the church service, the students donated the items to the new church members. They then proceeded to the towns of Rosso and Bosumchiche to distribute donations to the wider community. In an interview with Hope Adventist News, the president of the Mountain View Ghana Conference, Pastor Roxton Kojoa Mwakon, who participated in the event, commended the students for their generous actions and appealed for more support from the public to enable these young students to continue their philanthropic efforts.
Adventist girls, and also Omaba, Yatin so me no have Bruce Rasu, and then Omaba say, and Noma, Oma GT, Oma de Bre community, no, nobody ama. I saw the Yatin for fun. Oh, my dear, Paddy, Yabo Bafi, Cyrus way, I didn't hear ye. Your Kokumabia, and Noma, ye ain't here in Kumno, who have a brave. Mama way, over the seminar. Zero, Ntadia, be a watch, no maybe Abba, a chebi Russell, and a bishop. Because I say, Yenaji, a bomb about to say, yes, I don't be say, it may be one with my boy, Asasina, now a one nearby, now communities, a boy.
Dorothy Sewaba, the president of the school's welfare society, told Hope Adventist News that the donated items were collected through contributions from the institution's students.
And we are here to donate to the poor and the needy. For Jesus Christ, we should give it to the poor and the needy, and He will bless us abundantly. So please, we are pleading on the elders' behalf, pastors, those who can contribute to our donations here, so that we can give it to the poor and the needy, and the Almighty God will bless us abundantly. Amen.
Mrs. Christiana Obim Mensah, the teacher in charge of the Institutional Welfare Society, explained the motivation behind the donation and highlighted the importance of supporting underdeserved communities. Community members from this area, interviewed by Hope Adventist News, expressed their heartfelt appreciation to the students and prayed for God's blessings upon them as they pursue their studies.
Welfare Society now, school, institutional church, when I'm done. I brave you and a few and the end. Now, you the end that's a no swap.
As graduates and guests reflected on their experiences, it was evident that the Accra City Conference Women's Skills Training Academy has become a beacon of hope and opportunity for women and men seeking to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to society.
sɛ wɔwɔ kakra o sɛ wonni bio kakra wɔ no ne afoforɔ bɛyɛ de ɛbɛkyɛ sɛ de nyankopɔn asɛm ka yɛ nti yɛwɔ fɛre dɔkas ɔyɛ adɔyɛ bebree nti yɛn nso yɛ deɛ baako a yɛn nso bɛtumi de aboa onyame adwuma no ama no apagya ne sɛ yɛn nso yɛbɛkɔ abɔnten na afei yɛkɔyɛ adɔyɛ ama afoforɔ.
Expressing his gratitude, Headmaster Mr. Kingsley Uforijima thanked the 1996-year group for their generous renovation of the home economic classroom and the provision of necessary items. He urged other year groups to follow suit, outlining areas where support such as chairs for the assembly hall and the administration block is needed.
Hope Adventist News is brought to you by Angels of Hope. Moving on, in a heartwarming display of generosity and commitment to improving healthcare in rural areas, Touch and Impact Life Ministry, led by an Adventist philanthropist, Elder Kwesi Osei Ajiman, a US-based Ghanaian, has donated health equipment worth about $1,500 to the DK Amponsa Seventh-day Adventist Health Center at Dadiase, a sub of the Setre Kumewu district. This donation aims to enhance the quality of healthcare services provided by the health center, which serves the Setre Kumewu district assembly and its surrounding communities. The donated items included essential medical supplies such as beds, mattresses, sanitizers, face masks, wheelchairs, and walking sticks, among others.
In an insightful interview, District Director of Education, Mr. George Eduabuakwa, emphasized the increasing importance of technical and vocational education and training TVET in the education system. He advised students to take TVET seriously, noting the government's substantial investment in building schools under the educational framework.
For making this donation for the second time.
The ministry be a Touch and Impact Foundation. Yeah, they boa bibli asi. And then they die to Sminua, then I penny about Adiasi Hospital asi na. Cray and the Enya, the Boa Hospital, na Abua community asi. And in there, one of a 7th Adventist church. Na and I'm almost a yes, I do be.
The president of the Asante Central Ghana Conference, Pastor Jonathan Owusu, received the equipment and expressed his gratitude to Elder Kwesi Osei Ajiman and his ministry for their generous support.
The school choir added a musical touch to the event, entertaining the audience with melodious tunes, making the occasion not only significant but also memorable. A report by Nana Kwabna Jesidakwa, Kumasi.
na aboa ama wono ba ha monya amodin areso ezie the ministry aye sa hospital ministry give say that be aso so be kase ama man say na am say freedom for to me ewo na sore so na hospital wo ya minister ministry na.
In an interview with Hope Adventist News, Elder Kwesi Osei Ajiman stated that he and his wife decided to help rural health centers in Ghana because many of these facilities lack essential health equipment. He also appealed to other philanthropists to support health centers in remote areas.
Ghana member na rural areas na communities and lack health. Touch and Impact Foundation. Na titu no yetminya nema kitisi ya ibo hoye omde cheye. Na so ya na say shipping no ko ne ba no. Ya so abomodin afa ho ka. Na e bisu abeboa yenuanum a omo ase bi say yimnya titu se Ghana ha health system no ye very bad. Enti yan ya ho odin a na me adom betimi de aboa na
Pastor Jonathan Owusu tweeted his appreciation for Elder Kwesi Osagyim's kind gesture and highlighted the positive impact it would have on the health center.
And to our feature story for this week, in an extraordinary act of divine intervention, a 7-day Adventist group was miraculously planted in Ghana, striving even before the arrival of the Adventist missionaries. This remarkable event highlights faith, power, and the Adventist message spread through their unconventional means.
Thanks, Gary. Welcome to West Africa. Today I have with me Pastor Fred Ajeba, who is one of our leaders here in this region of the world. And I want to know, Pastor Fred, what exactly do you do here?
Yeah, I'm the Communication and Global Mission Director for the Northern Ghana Union Mission.
Ah, so you're from Ghana.
Yes, I'm from Ghana.
Are you from which part of Ghana?
I'm from the southern part of Ghana, but I work in the northern part of Ghana.
Okay, so you have worked in a lot of areas around Ghana.
Area.
You've been a pastor.
You're right.
What else have you done?
I have been a pastor all my life.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so in Ghana, there is a region that I think you're familiar with.
Oh, yes.
It's the Kumasi region, right?
Yes.
Do we have a lot of church members in that area?
We have so many members in Kumasi. In fact, every 5 people you meet, 3 of them should be Adventists in Kumasi.
So it's really full of Adventists. But when we first started there, the Adventist message first started there, how did it originally become, the seeds got planted and then growing?
Right. I believe the church in Ghana was miraculously planted by God himself. Because it was just a tract that was dropped at the seashore. Somebody picked it at the shore. And
some publishing tracts?
That's all it. Somebody picked it at the shore, read it, and he saw, oh, this is the Sabbath. And they started keeping the Sabbath with his family.
So later, just one person?
One person, a fisherman. Later he called from abroad the missionaries. They came and they helped the church to start growing. But the church didn't do well at the coast. It traveled all the way to hinterland, where the Ashantis, the Akans, typically were also worshiping on the 7th day.
So you're saying from the coast, a tract and a fisherman,
yes.
But it traveled from there into the interior.
Into the interior.
And that's where the story gets more interesting.
That is it. And so the Akans already had a lot of things that fell in the parameters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Such as?
Such as worshiping on the 7th day.
So this group, Ashanti,
yes,
were already worshiping on the Sabbath.
On the Sabbath. They had the 7th day, they were worshiping on the 7th day. In fact, they called the God of Sabbath, referring to the God of heaven.
So they already had this ritually in the local tradition.
Oh, that is it.
That's fascinating. Now,
yes.
So did it start growing then, the church did among this group?
Yeah, it started growing among the people because in the first place, the people were worshiping God on the Saturday.
Already.
And then on Saturday, the head of the house will call the family. They come together and they have a 3-fork tree. On the 3-fork tree, they put a pot of water. Then they have the hyssop. You know hyssop?
Yep,
In the book of Psalms.
Yeah.
Then he dropped the hyssop and then he will sanctify the people on the Sabbath morning.
It sounds biblical.
That is it. And that same day, nobody goes anywhere. In fact, they call it Memenenda Dapa. It means it is a good day. Dapa,
wow.
Good day.
So the Sabbath has always been a good day in this area.
And in the area, they know God as Nyame Kwame, the God of Saturday.
Wonderful.
Along the line, the white man came with his religion. And then they turned it from Saturday, the day of worship, from Saturday to Sunday. And so they refer to the white man as Kwesi Broni. Kwesi Broni is white man, and Kwesi is Sunday. So because he brought Sunday, they call him Kwesi Broni. But all we know is that our God is a God of Saturday. And so he's Kwame.
What a wonderful story. So they even have a word for the people who changed the day, kind of shifted. And it's a fascinating story from Kumasi and the people there. How did the gospel spread outside of this main people group?
Kumasi was used as an epicenter for the message.
Okay.
And so people who came to live in Kumasi, as they moved to other parts of the region, they also went with it. And if you moved a little to the bonus, where we have the Brona Halfos, they also accepted the message so well. You move a little further, like going to the north, we have what the people we call the most. They also picked the message from Kumasi, and then they sent it there.
So different people groups.
Different people groups. As they move with the message.
So were missionaries kind of sent out from Kumasi?
Yes.
To carry the message to these other groups?
Missionaries who volunteered.
Ah.
They just volunteered. They were not paid, but they did a lot of job.
Now, is there still people groups in Ghana who have not known the fullness of the message that we have?
Oh yes, a number of them. A number of them. And even in Kumasi, where the message has so much spread, we still have people groups who have not been reached.
So global mission pioneers, of course, are being sent to some of these unreached areas. Do you have anything you could tell our audience, tell me, about how the global mission pioneers are taking the message to these unreached areas?
Yes, the global mission pioneers now are working with the people, and the best they do is one-on-one. They meet them in their homes, they have Bible studies with them, they have other outreach interventions by which they can attract the people so that they can work with them and then send a message to them too.
Pastor Abijah, I am so delighted to have known this miraculous story and how the people of Ghana have been faithful in continuing to carry the message, sending pioneers, and worshiping, of course, on the Sabbath. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you too.
As we go back to Gary, I just want to say there are people all over this world who have waited for that seed of the gospel to be planted. Let's keep looking for them and sharing the gospel faithfully wherever we can go.
That was a short history to be known. That brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, let's take another look at our headlines. West Central African Division organizes Stewardship Convention at Valley View University. Adventist Girls Senior High School Institution Welfare Society donates to rural areas. Divine Intervention, the miraculous establishment of a 7-day Adventist group in Ghana before the missionary arrival. This news is brought to you by Angels of Hope. Be an angel of hope in spreading the word of God. All you need is by just dialing *928*32*104# on your phone and follow the prompt. You can also send your donations to Hope Channel Momo account number 0249193083. You can watch every program aside Hope Adventist News on all our social media handles, that's YouTube and Facebook, Hope Channel Ghana or Hope TV Ghana. Remember, you can also reach us on our WhatsApp line 0559680066 or our email address hopetvghana@gmail.com for all your inquiries or even prayer requests. Please kindly stay safe and stay tuned for the rest of our programs. My name is Nana Akusi-Obuachi.